Awesome. That was awesome. Thank y'all for doing that. All right. So this is going to be the reveal of Nintendo Skyscraper. I know you guys have read about this, and when someone asked me what I thought about this, I think this is going to be like Indiana Jones opening the Ark at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, only without the face melting and the dangerous lightning. So you guys are here to see that. I'm not going to talk anymore. I just want to say thank you all for coming to the show. Thank you all for coming to this panel. And I'm going to hand it over. We have a whole team of gaming literari here. So I'm going to hand it over to Billy Mitchell and Walter Day. They're going to talk a little bit about the history of Skyskipper, and then we'll go along with our program. So here they are. You're up, Billy.
A long time ago, in Ottumwa, Iowa, we started the U.S. National Video Game Team, which essentially now is recognized as history's first esports team. And we did something that really hadn't been done at that time. We did a major road trip at our own expense. Well, not completely at our own expense. We did have paid sponsors, but we got on the bus full of games. It was 53 feet long or something like that. And we started touring the nation, doing promotions different places.
And breaking down.
Breaking down like 7 times. Before finally, it didn't survive the 7th breakdown. And we got in a brand new car and went 90 miles per hour with him driving for the rest of the trip. And so we went a lot of places. We went to Ohio, we went to Illinois, we went to Michigan, we went to Minneapolis, we went to Omaha, we went to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, Seattle, we went to all over California. But when we got to Seattle, we visited Nintendo. And Nintendo was a place, well, they were very dynamic, and they're full of a lot of activity and a lot of things going on. And inside their offices, they had an actual in-house arcade. And not only were there successful titles like Donkey Kong there and so forth and so on, they also had some of the things that just didn't make it to the next stage, or the next stage, or the next stage of development and being rolled out. And one of those games that we played there, that would probably have the most unique distinction, having been amongst the few people in history to ever seen Skyskipper. They had one Skyskipper, and Billy will remember better than I was. Were there only like 4 in existence, weren't there?
No, they had actually created 12, and they decided not to mass produce it. They actually shredded, for lack of a better term, shredded 11 of them, and the one in the break room was the only one that still existed. We were there, we were actually kind of a nuisance. They knew me just a little bit, and they didn't know any of the other guys, because they didn't care. Maybe they still don't. But the fact of the matter is, we played the game, and I had assumed at the time, I didn't know that 11 of them were shredded. Going to places like Sega or Nintendo, we often learned that the games they produced that they didn't put out, they used to donate to the military, and they'd be off on aircraft carriers and arcades, things like that. I assumed that's where they were. And I'm 100% confident that up until a few months ago, there's only one person, she knows who she is in this room, who even would know what Skyskipper ever was. And so the fact of the matter is, I thought it was a game that I had just seen, and anytime I spoke of it, everybody just scratched their head and didn't remember anything. As a matter of fact, the guys who we traveled there with, who were there in the break room with us, I said, remember we played Skyskipper? No. So I mean, there was nobody even to speak to of it. But the fact is, yesterday, we talked about the games that we all played, the games that were our passion, and now we embrace it because it's what we did, it's what we love, and now people are beginning to embrace it more and more. And this is a different segment because this is something that should have otherwise just been lost to history, as this game since 1992 has been tucked away in a Nintendo warehouse and has never ever seen light of day.
So, essentially, we were there, we played Skyskipper. Billy and I in particular remembered it for different reasons that will be unveiled as the days goes on and the games revealed. For the example of the guys who put together the Skyskipper that we'll be seeing and discussing as the day goes on, they actually are literal like paleontologists or archaeologists, because like an archaeologist now, they will find certain aspects of like prehistory, and they'll study those analyze those, they'll write up things about them, and they'll generally turn them into like a museum presentation or even a paper that gets published in a scientific journal. So this is a video game collector's version excuse me, of scientists actually doing the research, making the discoveries, and now publishing for everybody to see. You guys are their scientific journal. This is their publication of their research and their findings in the history of of arcade history. Finding something that otherwise was forgotten, bringing it back to life, putting it all together, and now here is what they have to present to you. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if Billy has anything else to say, but...
Absolutely. Mr. Whitney called me because he had a problem. Boy, you're under the bus now.
Yes, always under the bus.
He had a problem. He had been working on this and putting it together with Alex for a long time, and he had just hit a roadblock. He says, I can't get anywhere with Nintendo. And he says they won't return my calls. And I said, no, it's worse than that. They won't even accept a message from you, will they? And he goes, no, they won't. They're like a very secret society. I can think of 2 people that have had success reaching Nintendo that before this. They're a very enclosed society. So I said, okay, I think I know who to call and how to make things begin to roll forward. And we began to share all of our information, which is what really caused things to hit the gas pedal about 6 months ago. Mr. Whitney, we need you. What he did was, he actually acknowledged to me shortly before we started here. He said, Billy, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm terrified. So we'll see how he does, especially you.
All right, Alex, you want to go ahead and start it up?
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me over here. My first time in the United States, so a little bit nervous in front of all these Americans. But yeah, what a journey. I never thought my wildest dream was that this little game would take me all the way to the good old United States. It's unbelievable. I found this game 2 years ago now, and I was actively searching for it. Because I'm a big Nintendo collector. I collect all of the early Nintendo games, especially the games that weren't programmed by Nintendo. There's a company called Ikigami that did all the coding for Nintendo in the early days, and my dream really was just to collect all of those type of games, right up to Donkey Kong. The first game that was actually coded by Nintendo was Donkey Kong Jr. So my aim was just to collect all of the ones pre-Donkey Kong Jr. I'd seen pictures of Sky Skipper, just flyers, black and white flyers and marquees, but I'd never actually ever seen a full-size upright cabinet. I didn't even know if it existed, or even if it was ever made. But then finally, I found a PCB, an actual board set, up in the north of England, marked Popeye. So Nintendo had actually factory modified it to play Popeye, so obviously they didn't want to get rid of the hardware. And I got my good friend Mark Whiting to re-engineer the board, which was a long process, took us about 3 months, but we finally nailed it. We managed to get not one, but 2 working Sky Skipper boards, which is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, I tell you, getting the boards was the first major accomplishment, there's no doubt. It's a much longer road. Everything that came after that, I think, just added on and added on and added on. And there were many times where we didn't know if we were actually going to be able to finish this and even put it up here on stage for everybody to see. But I will say this, not speaking for Alex, but I know the sentiment's the same. We're humbled that so many people are here and have shown interest in this. And we thank everybody for making the time and coming to SFGE and seeing the labor of our love. And so, real quick, I've got a couple people that I think we need to thank before we get into yanking the cover off this thing and showing. Do you think it's going to start? Do you think it's going to work?
Probably not.
Okay, all right. There's always a chance that I forgot something, but I'm going to hope that we didn't, okay? So it's a 50-50 shot. But real quick, it's a couple of shout-outs, just real fast. I've got a couple people I want to thank. First and foremost, this gentleman right here. Does everybody know Richard Lint? This old man. Yeah. So Alex and I went through the entire process of the artwork restoration with our third teammate, Olly Cotton. And when it came time to determine who was going to make this cabinet look better than factory, we knew that there was only one person that we could get in touch with and reach out to, and that was Rich. And so Rich did a fantastic job, and I do want to say that everything that you all see here today, what you see out on the game floor, and then what we do, what we show in our panel discussion this afternoon, I think that's at like 4:30, so we invite everybody to come to that because Alex and I are going to talk a lot more in depth about the project. We're going to show some of the preliminary artwork, talk about the PCBs, and even some plans that we've got coming up, okay, after this reveal, because there's a lot more that we've got kind of in store as well. But Rich, we want to thank you because I know that we brought you a load of work, and he took it with aplomb. And he said, guys, we'll get this done, and it was unbelievable, man. So Rich, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Took your time, but we got there.
Yeah, we got there perfect. You cannot rush perfection, that much I will say. And real quick, I do want to thank my good buddy Jonathan, Jonathan Wildson up here in the front row. Jonathan was a huge help to me. He came up, yeah, stand up, Jonathan. Yeah, so when it came time to restore the cabinet and everything, Jonathan reached out to me and he said, hey dude, I know what you want this to look like. Do you need a second set of hands? And I never claimed to be the brightest bulb in the bunch, and I said, but I knew that right then and there I needed the help, and I was like, Jonathan, come on, buddy. And we hammered on it, and I believe that the results definitely speak for themselves. So we didn't leave any stone unturned. I know that. So I mentioned Olly. So you want to talk about Olly for a second, real fast?
Yeah, Olly's does a lot of artwork in the UK. Yeah, got to thank Olly. Mark Whiting, obviously, did the engineering of the board. Steve, Atari Tubin, who supplied us with the flyer originally. We had something to go off. Yeah. And John Porteous helped us with what we're going to chat about in the panel discussion. Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, it was a whole group of people, and everybody contributed to the project. And I do want to say, last but certainly not least, the person that put up with me the most, two of them, be my wife, number one, and then my co-host, Brent Griffith, over here, number two. So I need to give a shout out and a hand to Brent because he took it on the project as well. And he said, you know what, man? He goes, I know you're going to do this side thing, but go at it and knock it out. And so, Brent, I thank you for that as well, man. So I guess, dude, without further ado, we're pretty much at the time, aren't we? All right. So I'm going to walk around this. Is everybody ready to see this? All right. Now, everybody, let's give us a big 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Sky Skipper! Oh my God! It looks so great. It means a lot, buddy. Thank you very much. Turn it on! All right. Everybody, John Jacobson said, turn it on! All right, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this thing on. Are you ready? Okay, I'm back here messing with the plug. Oh, I forgot to plug it up. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm getting that. I'm going to turn it on. Hey, Alex, one thing I forgot to do was restore the power switch. My bad. All right, you ready? Go! And we have fun, guys. It lives. Excellent. Alex, I think you need to do the honors. All right, I'm going to hold the mic right down here. Yeah, so for everybody who can't see, Alex is rolling through the game. And just as a quick aside, this game is available in Maine for anybody who does want to go out and give it a shot and take a look at it. So Alex is playing through, and fortunately the board has not taken a dive on us yet, so it looks like we're good.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Congrats, Alex.
Hey,
Thanks, John.
Alex, I think you scored what, 4,400? So I think you set a new world record right there. World record on skyscraper right here at SFGE. How about it? All right, does anybody have any questions out in the crowd? I mean, huh? Okay, so yeah, the basis for the game. Alex, why don't you explain? Yeah, you know what? Very good question. Yeah, very good question. Alex, really, just for anybody who doesn't know
It's a very early multi-directional sort of shooter, really. You control this little plane with a little character which is Mr. U. You've got speed, and you've got a fire button here, and you've got to rescue or pick up all of the playing cards, which Nintendo used to produce quite a lot of back in the day. So it's got quite a little bit of Nintendo history there with the playing cards. And if you get a flush, a royal flush, you get a bonus. So basically, just scroll around your environment here, picking up all the little cards and trying to avoid the gorillas because they're trying to shoot you with their baseball bats and balls. You can knock them down with a fire button, and you can actually pass through them once they're knocked down. It's a really cool game. There's about 4 levels to this game, and then it just loops, goes back to the beginning and just gets a lot harder. So there's a lot of replay value in this game. And a nice critical mid element with the fuel as well. You've got a fuel gauge at the top. So if you're trying to rack up the points and point press, you'll notice your fuel gauge is going to go down really quickly. So you can actually land and refuel if you want to. So it's quite a lot to the game.
And there's one thing I think that we should say for everybody wondering. You know, we were able to partner with Nintendo on this project, and we do need to give them a very special thank you because without their help and their collaboration, then this game would never have come back out of the archives and be standing here today. So, so for Nintendo, thank you. Yeah. So, anybody have any questions out in the crowd? Yeah, we've got one back here. Yes, sir. What's that? Oh, is the marquee made of glass? No, the marquee is plexi, just as all the other Nintendo upright arcade marquees were today. Donkey Kong Jr., Popeye, all those marquees are plexi. This is plexi as well. What's that? We did not. How did we restore it? Well, that's a long answer to a short question. Ultimately, we were granted access to the prototype cabinet at Nintendo. They allowed us to come in and scan that cabinet, and then working with Alex and I, working with our third teammate Olly, and then working here with Rich, we the group of us reproduced all of the artwork and then restored the cabinet. So this isn't original artwork, but it is very faithful, very accurate to the prototype that was at Nintendo. So we used the flyer, we used the advertising, some magazine advertisements to verify what we saw. But ultimately, this is essentially a copy of what is at Nintendo. Yeah. Okay, so the question was, do we have a good idea of where it falls in the timeline, when it was made, and why? And is that a good indicator of it having only one coin slot? So you take the first one on that, Alex.
Well, on the flyer, on the Japanese flyer,
yes,
it had a single slot coin mech. But the one that you saw in NRA had 2, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Yeah, but it was an urn testing mule, and I don't, based on what I saw, they were using the 2 coin slots, one to accept a quarter, and then one for them to expose the service switch in case, or credit switch in case they needed it. And I think they did that, a lot of the reason why they did that is so that they could have it on free play inside the cafeteria at NOA. But time-wise, Chris, this was to have been right before Popeye, and we don't know if Popeye would have still came after Skyscraper. We feel that it would have, or Popeye may never have made it if Skyscraper had actually been introduced. But it's within that Donkey Kong Jr. to Popeye time frame is when it was done. But yeah, all the literature shows this as a single coin magnet door. So there it is. Yeah. So Billy, Walter, excellent, you guys are back. All right, so I think this is a good time.
Man, you're really observant.
Yeah, yes, I am. I think this is a good time to see Billy Mitchell post the world record on Skyscraper. You set the bar for him, Alex. You set the bar. Does everybody want to see Billy Mitchell set a world record? Yeah! All right. 4,400 points, sir.
This is a little easier than it sounds, even though I have to let him have his glory. When Fix-It Felix came out, Disney sent one cabinet to a particular location in Miami, and one to Seattle. Some guy who plays Donkey Kong in Seattle, you guys might really well. And so they wanted us to have a playoff, so I said okay. And I guess I was supposed to do it because it makes me feel warm and fuzzy, but I said no, I get to keep the machine, so they agreed. What was good was we played, and it might be hard to understand, but I won, right? Well, we played, I played it to the end, I had the world record, and I never played it since. So I like that, I'll get the world record and I don't have to play it again. Somebody else can have the glory. So that's what makes this fun. I like when people say, Pac-Man, do you still have the record? It was a perfect score, I don't ever have to play again. So I like moments like this. Here, give that the wall.
Yeah, we got it.
I have no idea. None.
Enter the new challenger. Come on, Billy. Huh? Well, the kids switches out to hard. You do know that.
Yeah, because in this one, we're not in each other's way.
So all you do is knock them out, and then capture the cards as they flow.
So you've got to bomb the gorillas there, Billy. Pick up the cards. See, the cards have got different. You've got the hearts there. You've got the jacks. If you pick them up all in a line, all together, you'll get a bonus. So he's doing well. You want to come down a bit. See, there's loads of cards down the bottom.
Yeah, you want me to go down with
Yeah.
where they're gonna bomb me?
Oh, you are rusty, aren't you? Your fuel's running out, mate.
How the heck do we get more?
That's it, you're dead. That's it, game over. Is that it? Is that the best you got?
Oh, it's a world record.
What's your style? You got to fighting without fighting?
How do you get more fuel?
You have to see the flag there?
Oh, okay.
But you're full. Your gauge is full now. Because you died, so you've got a full tank. He's fine with this. Come down the bottom here, that's it. Right down the bottom, then go across. That's it. That's it. That's it. Quick turn around. Well, you've got 3 more over this side. You've got Queen and 2 hearts. There they are at the top there. And what you need to do is bomb the gorilla at the top.
Bummer. Last plane, get
Last
ready.
line.
You're saying after this I don't have to play it again?
No, you never have to play that again. That's it. 3 there. So you played this 30 years ago. You actually played it. How many times did you play it?
I don't know if I played it or I just watched it.
Yeah.
Let's go down for more fuel, how's that?
Excellent. You've got a few more on this side to get. You go right.
Man, he's tough.
Yeah. Ooh. You're going back that way. Too bad, mate. Too bad.
So now he'll get the unique challenge of being the guy that gets to beat Billy Mitchell's world record.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Wait a minute. He's from the UK, so there's an exchange rate here.
Cheers, buddy.
So essentially, as you know, we have developed a set of trading cards that commemorate the history, the culture, and the community of our times. focusing on this amazing legacy of gaming. So this is quite a remarkable thing that these two gentlemen have gone and pulled together all this information that no one had ever researched before, and actually brought it to the point that we have an actual working skyscraper here on the stage with us today. So we made a trading card to commemorate this project.
It's one of two in the world.
It's one of two in the world, okay? Alright. So we have a trading card here. We're going to officially unveil right now. I'm going to get down there and make sure everybody gets a copy of the card. But it's essentially the Skyscraper Project card. And the text was written by the two gentlemen so that we have all the stuff accurate. So you get to see the historical trajectory of this project. And